Oh, there's a spider over there. A Spidey! Okay, I'm gonna let you live for now, but I'm coming for you later. Your days are numbered. What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on today's video. If you're new here, my name is Marissa White, and on Wednesdays, we get weird. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about the catacombs. Now, if you don't know what the catacombs are, this video is a must watch for you because I know when I first found out about these, I was absolutely shocked that something like this existed, especially where it exists. I don't know about you guys, but when I think of Paris, France, I think about the city of love and architectural beauty and fine dining. What if I told you that beneath the city of light was the gates of hell? Underneath Paris, France, lies a mass grave that holds about 6 million dead people. And if that doesn't scream romance, then I don't know what does. So, as I'm sure you know, Paris was hit with plague and famine. What happens when there is plague and famine? People die. Now, a lot of the cemeteries in Paris, and especially their biggest one, were just completely overflowing with bodies. There was just bodies on bodies, and it created a really unsanitary environment for the people of Paris, and it stunk. So, to fix this, or just slap a band-aid over it, King Louis decided in the late 1700s that he was going to start moving bodies to these catacombs. So, in the dead of night, people went out to these cemeteries and they loaded dead bodies, decomposing bodies, into covered wagons and secretly moved them to these massive underground tunnels. Why were those tunnels there in the first place, you might ask? Well, Paris is mostly made out of limestone, and back in the day, people would use whatever building materials they had available to them, and that is what was available in Paris. So when they were building the city, they actually went underground and they mined all of the limestone, and they had all these tunnels that would allow them to get in, get the limestone out, and build the city. Now, it is said that they had priests with them, and when they moved the remains, there was a prayer that was said to keep the dead at rest and to be respectful. I mean, in my opinion, is there really a way of doing that respectfully? I don't really know if there is a respectable way to do something like that. I mean, just imagine your dead loved ones being hauled off from one cemetery secretly and then dumped in an underground mass grave. These tunnels, you guys, stretch out over 200 miles below the city. Just imagine, there's people from all over the world taking pictures of the Eiffel Tower and drinking wine and having lavish honeymoons, and there's also 6 million people just buried underneath the feet in a mass grave. It's such a strange thought. There are more people dead underneath the city of Paris than there are above the city living today. So out of the 200 miles of underground tunnels and the catacombs, only a very, very small portion is allowed to be visited by tourists. Now, rules, what are they meant for? They're meant for breaking. So of course, people still find ways into the catacombs. They throw raves down there. They even had a whole legit movie theater down there. Yeah. That's what police found. There was rumors of them actually having an entire restaurant built underneath in the catacombs, and they could not figure out where they were getting their power from, but they were somehow. It is also rumored that people in satanic cults and things of that nature would go underneath into the catacombs and perform different rituals and sacrifices. A lot of people believe that the spirits of the dead remain and dwell in those catacombs because a lot of the times when you have a disturbed grave or someone whose body has been disrespected, even in death, that will disrupt their afterlife and make them angry. And honestly, even if that's not the case, even if there is no threat of, getting chased by a ghost or killed by an evil, angry spirit, it's very dangerous down there. You can get lost super easily, and it's not the most stable place. It is ancient, and bones decay and a lot of the structures in the catacombs are actually held up with human bones. So honestly, I think it's beautiful. I find beauty in it, but at the same time, it's not really something that I would want on my centerpiece of my dining table. Obviously, with there being all of these old decaying bones around everywhere, it is dangerous. Sometimes people will go in there and try to literally crawl through the tunnels that are packed full of bones to get to other blocked off areas of the catacombs, and they end up cutting themselves on the bones, or the walls and the bones just end up kind of swallowing them whole, and people go in and they don't come out. Whether it's ghosts or them simply just getting lost, it's still a real threat. A lot of people that visit the catacombs today say that it is very overwhelming and emotional. As soon as you step foot into the catacombs, you instantly feel just dread and despair. A lot of people report having actual physical reactions, like they can't breathe or they start having panic attacks. And obviously it's not Disneyland, it's not a very happy place, but to have that much of an overwhelming emotion as soon as you step foot into a place, it's pretty trippy. There's this story, and I don't know if it is actually true or more of an urban legend. There's a lot of different sites saying that it is fake, and then there's a lot of people that really truly believe that it's real. Based on the research that I've done, I'm not really sure. But there is footage that you can look up of this man that supposedly went missing in the catacombs. And whether or not he was found, no one really knows. But it's basically him walking through the catacombs and getting lost, and then the footage just stops and we don't know if he escaped or not, and nobody ever claimed on the outside world that that was their footage and that they made it out. One of the more recent movies that have been made on the catacombs is the movie As Above, So Below. And if you saw that movie, then you got a very, dramatized, Hollywood, spooky feel for the catacombs. And to be honest, I thought that the film was actually very scary, just really unnerving. That movie did freak me out. However, I myself would love to visit a place like the catacombs. I mean, it's definitely on my to-do list. Wouldn't that be a cool vlog? Something even more scary than the sinister nature of the catacombs, in my opinion, is one of the stories that I read while I was researching the catacombs. And apparently there was this restaurant where they were supposed to be really famous for their rabbit. Well, the police and people who take care of the catacombs kept finding these little skulls of creatures. And they thought, oh, maybe, they're having satanic rituals down here and these are the skulls of the animals that they are killing. Turns out that these skulls were actually cats. So the restaurant that was above this part of the catacombs was serving cat and saying that it was rabbit, and then ditching the remains down in that part of the catacombs. Whether or not you believe in the ghoulies and the ghosties that could be dwelling down in the catacombs, you cannot deny the fact that there is 6 million people buried underneath the city, and that alone is scary, paranormal or not. That is just a trip and a half. So that's pretty much going to be the end of today's video. Sorry it was a short one and it wasn't like super intricate, but I just had to mention the catacombs. I couldn't have a YouTube channel on things strange and unusual and not mention the catacombs. Obviously you can go way deeper into the rabbit hole on the stories of the catacombs and the histories, but just to give you guys a brief little description of them in case you didn't know, there you go. What have you heard about this mass grave? Have you been or would you go? Let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious to see if there's as many people out there that are like me that would love an opportunity to go tour this place. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. Make sure you like the video if you did enjoy it. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do so and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss any of my weekly uploads. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than you would know. Stay weird, and I'll see you next time.